Okay, this is part two of spirituality week, part two. So anyway, uh, last week's blog, we were talking about what is spirituality, what does it mean, what's my purpose in life, typical questions everybody asks, especially when they get into recovery. And when I talk about recovery, everybody, the first thing they think of is, oh, she's talking about, addiction stuff again. When I talk about recovery, okay, I need to define myself. That means recovery from anything, okay, whether it's mental health issue stuff, chronic pain stuff, and yes, even addictive behavior stuff. Okay, sex, drugs, gambling, food, whatever. I mean, human beings can freaking get addicted to Tide and lipstick if they wanted to. So that's my definition. So when I say recovery, I mean anything. Okay, literally anything. So there we go. So this week's blog for part two of spirituality, we're going to talk more about what spirituality means to the individual. And how do you get to that point of understanding what spirituality means to you? It's a very individual thing, and everybody walks in these doors and they're trying to figure out what the hell that means to them, because by the time they get in this door, they feel like they've been forsaken at some point, and they're trying to figure out how do they get to a point of gaining that back, and how do they figure out what it even means to them. And so, as promised, I said, and I remembered, I said that we need to talk about journaling. And every time I talk to my patients about journaling, they're like, oh, Mel, why? Why journaling? I don't like it. I don't like to write stuff down. I don't want it to have a written record because then people can use it against me, and blah, 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 blah. Well, journaling is important for a couple of things. One, it's a written record, yes, because you can look back and see how you progressed, right? Prognosis. The other thing is because it helps get all that crap out. You've been walking around with that crap for how many years now? Just walking around with it, just lugging that shit around like crazy. So now you can actually get it out. And that's the whole point of journaling. Now, I'm not telling you to say, I feel when. No, I'm not telling you to do all that crap. What I'm telling you is to get straight to the point. Because you know me, by now, if you're watching on my blogs, you should know me. I'm very simplistic. I like to keep things simple. Okay, like how in the 12-step programs, which is funny because I'm not going to use that. Keep it simple, stupid. Their whole adage about that. Well, I'm kind of the same way as far as keeping things simple. You want to keep things simple because it's easier for you to remember, right? The other thing is in journaling activities, you want to try and keep things simple. You can get things out, you can work on things. And the journaling activity I came up with, because in my belief system, in my practice, I'm not going to make my patients do anything that I haven't done already, because why should I do that, right? Doesn't make sense to me. And so one of the journaling activities I came across and that I liked, that I formulated, is something that is to the point. It focuses on specific parts of an individual, and it also gets to the point about short-term goal planning, and that's what I like. Because I'm not a big fan of journaling myself. So like I said, if I don't like it, why the heck would I make my patients do it? So I'm going to show you something right now. So thank you to one of my patients, because they're OCD, and so they came up with this. 1, 2, 3. Check it out, everybody. Thank you. Thank you to my other patient who's OCD. He came up with this. And because I drew this out on the board and I didn't have this made up, and so he made this for everybody. So check this out. So if you have to break a person up into 4 sectors, so if the creator came down and said, Mel, how do you break a person up into 4 sectors? I would say this is it. And this is the 4-sector person. Spiritual, physical, logical, emotional. Pretty self-explanatory, right? So spiritual is how do you sit comfortably in your skin? That's what I mean by that. Physical, how you feel physically. Logically, do you have any negative thought patterns going on? That's what I mean by that. And emotional, that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, how do you feel emotionally right now? That's what I mean by that. See, and then if you look real close, let me get closer. I don't know if you can see it. In the middle, in that lines there, you should see little numbers. I don't know if you can see it real good though. On the scale of 1 to 10, you want to rate yourself. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel right now? Sorry. On a scale of 1 to 10, you want to rate yourself. 1 being good. Sorry. 1 being bad. Bad. 10 being awesome. No problems in that area. So that's all you're going to do. Okay? Easy, right? Easy. 1 being bad, 10 being good. So go through all those sectors and you just want to ask yourself, how do I feel emotionally? How do I feel logically? How do I feel, like spiritually? How do I feel emotionally? And then on the side, because in this paper, if you notice, right, he put lines, right? And you want to write, why did you choose those numbers? Why didn't you choose those numbers? Easy, right? That's not hard. That's not hard. And then you want to pick your two lowest scores, and you want to put below that, how can I take those 2 lowest scores in a course of 24 hours and change, say, like a 5 to a 7 or a 3 to a 4 even? That's it. How easy is that? That will take you like 5 minutes. You could sit on the toilet and do this. I mean, you gotta go use the toilet, right, in the morning. Come on. Don't come up with an excuse how you can't do this. Okay, because I hear that all the time. You can. So anyway, that's my journaling activity. And on top of this, because if we're trying to figure out what our purpose in life is, and if you're trying to work on spirituality, right, you're trying to work towards positive belief systems, you want to come up with three things that you have gratitude for every single day. Easy. I don't give a shit if it's because you're breathing, okay? But that's something. And you don't want to say the same things every single day, because I had one patient tell me, well, if I say that I have gratitude for my house, that I'm breathing, and my kids. And I'm like, yeah, that's good so far. It's a start. But what if I say that every day? And I'm like, no. You can't be doing that every day. You have to think of different things every day. So 3 things that you have gratitude for every morning, every night. So when you wake up in the morning, and then before you put your head on your pillow, you want to do the same thing. So in our Hawaiian belief system, okay, in our native Hawaiian belief system, what you do when you start in the morning, you go and end, right? Like there's a beginning, there's an end. Same thing, right? That's what you're going to be doing. Because for every beginning, there's an end. So positive, negative, right? Same thing. Yin yang. Not that great stuff. So you're going to be doing the same thing with this journaling activity. You're going to do this in the morning. You're going to do this in the evening. Why? Because just because you did something in the morning doesn't mean that things not going to change in the afternoon or in the evening, because things happen in the course of the day. And so your way how you're going to feel going to change in the course of a day. The other thing is the one you're going to do at night, right? And here's the short-term goal planning, is that you're going to do a little things to-do list, because we want you to focus on being solution focused. And so you're going to be doing a things to-do list on top of that, so that now you have a goal and you're going to be focused on things on the very next day. The thing with the one in the evening as well, the things that you try to create in the morning, you can see what you did and what you progressed, and if the goals you've made, what you accomplished. So then you have a sense of accomplishment because now you're starting to accomplish goals. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel good that you're seeing that you've accomplished something. Good times. So that is what I would like for everybody to focus on. If you have the ability or the desire to start working on some goals and journaling activity, and you want to start working on spirituality, those are some of the things that you can start working on. So anyway, keep in mind this. Please don't take it away. You can use it as an example. It is copyrighted, so please don't take it, but you can use it as an example. We'll talk more about this next week in the next blog. The spirituality piece does take a couple of pieces of blogs, because why? It's important. It's important. So anyway, be well, everybody. Until next week, as I always say before we end every blog, be well, be an advocate for yourself, because why? You're only advocate. Okay, you are your only advocate. So like how I always say, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always email, comment on all of these videos. But until next week, aloha.